It's like when I play against Royals, I don't even think I'm on my first moves because I know exactly what's happening. Unless, of course, he decides to change the moves on the whim. Oh, okay, a variety streamer. Yeah. That's cool. I'm mainly a chess streamer. Occasionally, I play some Brawlhalla, but mostly just a chess streamer. Okay, so here. I don't know if any of you have heard of Brawlhalla. It's really been picking up these days. There's a move, I think, is it this? Maybe I guess castle here and push up. Okay, it's almost 12 midnight here actually. Stream that won't save us by against the current midterm. Whoa, that's a strange move. Yeah, but it's showing signs of him trying to push for the center. I mean, in one line I've played this before. And then push. Okay, let's do the calculation. Should I play bishop here? Just to get some activity and stress him out a bit. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. I think I have to stream every day for the rest of this month, and hopefully if I get the average of 3 streamers, 3 views, then we're done. So I'm looking at bishop here. Looking here, that causes a threat here. So on pawn push, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. Could I play bishop here? It takes away from his... It doesn't take away actually. Okay. I really have to think here. I could play this. I've played this before many times, but since this knight is not defended, it takes away from the position. Okay, I'm just going to play this for the heck of it. It depends on the position, but I prefer to have my bishops than my knights. It's 100% on the position. In some positions, it's better to play with the pawns, with the bishops than with the knights. In some positions, it's better to have the bishops or the knights. Sometimes it's even better to trade a knight for a rook for a knight based on the position. But generally speaking, I like to keep my knights and bishops. Okay, just a friendly tip. These 4 squares are the center of the board. And if you have pawns locked in this center, let's say they are pawns locked, there's a pawn on e4, there's a pawn on e5, d4, and d5. Then we call the game a closed game. So in that case, it's best to have your knights than your than your bishops, because knights dominate closed games. So on bishop here, I have this move. Okay, I see something. If you get that. I can play bishop here, and after bishop takes, but it's going to become quite complex, which is why I don't like that move. Here, okay, Okay, I'm back to 1600, that's cool. I don't want to double, that's not one of my ideas. I can't even double, that's the funny part. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, so this is the only move I can make. He has this move. Yeah, so that was a tactical position over there that Royals brought up. So yeah, we'll have to deal with that. So I think my rook is safe now because I was able to. If he takes this pawn, I take this guy, and now his position is slightly bad because he has doubled pawns and two undefended pawns here. So I can actually have a better. Actually, you guys caught me on my first game. That was my first game. So that was my first loss. The stream can go anyway. Like, it could actually go anyway. There are days I've had 6 straight losses. There are days I've not even lost a single game. Go anyway. Oh my god. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Royals is going to try and do over here. He could play takes here. And after takes, he plays takes here. And that's sort of good for him. Actually, that is good. It's not sort of good. That's actually good for him. So bishop takes g7, king takes g7, pawn takes g7. Then he's up a pawn. Yeah, but it gets to a point when you're playing chess. Don't mind when you're a pawn down. Usually, if you're a pawn down, you can draw the game, or if your opponent blunders, you can win. There was a point in time when I thought you're down. If you're down the material, you are naturally losing a chess game. But I realized that it comes down to the wire. Okay, so okay. What he's going for here is he wants to have the more active pieces in the position. So if I take this bishop, which I have to do, there's no other choice. If I take this bishop, he has rook here, and after I retreat my bishop, he has rook here, which makes him very, very active in this game. So that's a very good play by him. Yeah, we traded queen for queen. That's a normal trade you see. Okay, so I'll target this pawn over here to slow him down with this move. The queen is overrated. I'll just put it that way. More often than not, true chess skill comes from playing with your pawns and your king, or with your pieces and your king, your minor pieces and your king. Your minor pieces are your knights and bishops. Major pieces are your rooks and your queens. So I'm targeting a weak pawn over here. So I'm sure he might either push the pawn or defend the pawn, and that gives me the chance to now take over the central squares. So I don't give him exactly what he wants. Oh, he ignores it. Okay, so he's trying to get his rook here. I was planning on trading here, but okay, so rook to d8. If rook here, I just play rook takes, fine. So rook to d8, rook takes, rook here. I have rook here. Actually, I have check here. Okay, so I'll play this move. I was thinking about playing rook to e7 to prevent this, but it's too slow and it gives him so much time to add pressure to my position. It gives him too much time to add to my position. The pawn is not necessary. It's a bad idea to chase this pawn. Don't always take free pieces because they are free. Sometimes your opponent gains the position because you lose a piece. I hope I'm giving you enough hints. It might be a lot to take in, but don't worry, just practice it and it becomes second nature to you. some things we don't really talk about them, or we don't talk about us thinking about them, but they are actually there. For example, the fact that this bishop is not active. It's likely that this game will not end in a draw because we have bishops of the same color, right? These are things I've not mentioned, but they are actually very important. These are what we call imbalances in the position. I have the majority on the queen side, pawn majority on the queen side. He has the pawn majority on the king side. So he's most likely going to make a passed pawn on the king side and on the queen side. And another thing is that his king is more likely to support him. So he's actually better for the endgame. His king can better support creating a passed pawn. But to take my king some time to get here. Imagine if the rooks are and the bishops are off the board. Those kinds of things. But the basic thing is don't hang your pieces and then try and make your pieces as active as possible. This bishop currently doesn't have any hope. He has to now make some moves, which is going to take some time. Or maybe move his king and then try and relocate it. Yeah, so he's considering, should he play this move? Oh, he doesn't. Interesting. I think I missed that. No, I didn't miss that. I still have this move. Okay, so now let's play this. I have to get my king into the center. Now we are at endgame. Kings have to come to the center. Maybe I placed my bishop on the wrong square. Okay. So right now we are battling for what we call opposition. Opposition is the most annoying chess principle I've ever learned. We could probably draw this. He can't push this pawn, he has to push this first. I could actually, maybe I should have played this move. Okay, so he allows me to play this move. Notice how I'm keeping my pawns on dark squares because the light squared bishop can't take them. So now I'm actually considering some ideas here. Okay, so takes. So he has push here actually. I didn't see that. Yeah, I made a mistake by taking. I shouldn't have taken. Now, either way, she still makes the passed pawn. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, I think I get it. If he pushes the king going for this pawn, I'll just take it. No, actually, I shouldn't even take it. I should allow him and then I'll just push my pawns. Maybe I might get a queen before he does. I don't know if he can get to these pawns in time. I doubt he can. I think he made a mistake by playing this move. I think he should have just left this pawn and gone for these pawns. Then would have got a drawn position. But I think how many moves? Okay. Okay. Yes, yeah, at endgames like this is when the queen becomes very useful. Now the question is, will I be able to get his king, or will I be able to checkmate? Will I be able to get this pawn, or will I be able to checkmate the king? Okay. I can go for a draw. I don't know if I can win this, so I can go for a draw. I don't know if I can win this. Check. 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 Okay, let's keep trying. Let's keep trying. I won't give up yet. I can play king here, and if check here, I check here, right? So if this move, unless of course he plays check, but if I take, I'm still fine. We can still draw the game. Maybe we shall just play check here and then won this pawn before trying that move. Big mistake. Yeah, and now the game is going to be drawn. Might not be drawn. Oh boy. I want to see if I can win this game. I doubt it's winnable, but let's see. Maybe I can win it. He's just going to block with his queen. Okay. Oh, Royals. That was a sick game. Okay, let's check the analysis. Yes, you actually did Royals. I think either way it would have still been a draw. Or yeah, I messed up here. Yeah, okay, I messed up here. I messed up around here, but the accuracy was very good. You made 2 blunders. I had 1 miss win. You had 1 miss win. Okay, so this is basically the English opening. It's one of Royals' favorite opening. This is the main variation Royals and I play. Yeah, respectable draw. I'm not tricky. You got greedy. If you were in my country, they'll call you a porn star. You'd record a porn star in less than 2 seconds. Okay, so the whole point of playing c5 is that I want to get a hold of this d5 square so that my opponent can't break through. So yeah, in chess, every move your opponent makes, you should ask yourself, why did he make that move and what's he looking for? So rook here is obviously attacking this, so I defend. Bishop here, so this is the move I'm talking, the reason why I'm saying that. Why would he place his bishop here? Because technically speaking, the bishop on this square is very bad because it's blocked in with the pawn. So if you look further into the position, you realize that the bishop stares at this square. So he's adding what we call attackers to the square. That was the important point. He's adding attackers to the square. So I realized that, okay, I still have enough defenders of the square, but I miscalculated, I think, a bit over here. This move I played because I wasn't really sure what to do. Yeah, I was thinking about this, but I was thinking, I didn't know if this was right, because after pawn push, takes, do I still have this? I don't know. Moves to distract your opponent. Yes, there are. That's exactly what I'm talking about, the intermezzo moves. So for example, like in this position, the computer is recommending bishop here. Now, shooter games. I used to play Apex Legends. So on bishop to e5, I'm attacking the rook. And though he would really like to take over the center, he can't take over the center because he loses the rook. So it distracts him. Another example of that is over here. So the problem here was the bishop attacks my rook, and if ever I try to escape my rook to either a8 or b7, this other rook is covering it. So basically speaking, this rook is trapped. You get it? So now, what do? I distract my opponent. I distract him so that he doesn't just take it. So I played bishop here, because after bishop here, if bishop takes, the trade becomes even, right? So now he decided that, okay, let me stop. He's going to stop me from doing what I want to do. So now I distract him again. After takes, of course, if I play bishop, over here, if I play bishop to g5 immediately, queen will just take. So trade of the queens and then play rook, bishop here. Another distraction. Again, if bishop takes, I take. And he doesn't want that. You get it? I'm just giving you the distractions. So now he plays this move, which is what I want. Because now I can play check. And after the king moves, now my rook can attack his bishop. So he had a plan to take my rook. How many moves ago? Like 4 moves ago. And I distracted him for 4 moves until I saved my rook. So yes, you can do those kinds of moves. I thought I had a win here. Yeah, you see, what I should have done was this was the blunder. How do I win this? What? Are you kidding me? How do I win this? Check. No, that was a mistake. What? I thought this was a mistake. I thought about this. I thought this was a mistake. I thought he had enough chance. I didn't see that I cover all the squares. Are you kidding me? Okay. What happens here is after king to f7, there's a checkmating motif here. My king covers all these 3 squares, so all I have to play is queen to h3, and that's checkmate. But my fear was he would be able to check me. But look here. So after king to f7, if he plays queen to g7 to block the check, queen takes his checkmate, and he also can't play. Let's play this move. If he plays this queen check, I win this checkmate. If he plays this, I win the queen. I'm still ending the game. And if he moves his queen far away, checkmate. That was sick. I missed this.